Everybody on the internet who hasn't been living under a rock for at least a few months has probably heard of the popular online game Among Us. The game was very popular throughout the early pandemic days of 2020, as everyone was stuck in their homes and was forced to use the internet as their vast source of entertainment. Whether you've been active on YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter or not, there's a huge possibility you've heard of the game due to numerous amounts of videos about it. And also, the memes.
$19 Fortnite card. Who wants it? And yes, I'm giving it away.
But Among Us has recently been disappearing from everywhere, and to my surprise, the game has almost died. Today we are going to be looking at the history of Among Us, the rise, the fall, and how it disappeared without anyone noticing. Real quick before the video starts, hit subscribe. Okay, no more advertising. Let's get right into the video. Our story starts with when Among Us was created. The year was 2018, and 3 young individuals were ready to bring their game out for the world to enjoy. The game was inspired by another game called Mafia and the horror film The Thing. The premise of the game was that you had to complete certain tasks while also trying to figure out the one person out of the 10 crewmates that was a human/bean eating murder machine. But I'm pretty sure everyone here already knows how to play the game, so let's just move on. The idea was originally made by Marcus Bromander, the co-founder of Innersloth. He was also the guy who made the Henry Stickmin franchise, which I find kind of funny because that game was basically my childhood.
This is the greatest plan.
Around that time, he was working on another game, the Henry Stickmin collection. He stopped working on it for a while to focus on working for the first map on Among Us, which is the Skeld. On June of 2018, the game was released on the Apple and Android stores, but not on PC yet. Fun fact, the game was actually called Space Mafia before it was called Among Us. The game had a player base of 20 to 50 consistent players, but the Innersloth team weren't giving up that easy, and kept on persevering to make this game more popular. They released a new map called Mira HQ on August of 2019, and eventually Polus on November. These 2 maps were actually supposed to be a DLC package that cost about $4 US, but they eventually gave up on that and made them free. Talk about Innersloth becoming the next EA. And even though the game wasn't doing too well in terms of popularity and sales, the team stuck with it and pumped out weekly updates. It's been 2 years since the release of Among Us on mobile and Steam. The game wasn't doing too hot, and the Innersloth devs felt like they were just wasting the time with the game. But just when things were looking grim for the Innersloth devs, there was a light at the end of the dark tunnel. That light being the COVID-19 pandemic, of course. Some say this pandemic was enough to get the game on its feet again to gain traction. And some say it was the Twitch streamer Sodapoppin who was responsible for the game's surge in popularity. Suddenly, other streamers started playing the game, such as Shroud, Toast, Jacksepticeye, and eventually Pewdiepie. The game was becoming more popular than ever and literally killed Fall Guy's success.
But if you close your eyes.
And because everyone was stuck at home because of the quote-unquote 2-week lockdown, it made for a successful multiplayer game that you could play with 10 of your friends. Content-wise, it was doing great. The game's mechanics allowed for 10 different content creators to play in one lobby, for them to create 10,000 IQ plays. But other than that, the game grew massively with thousands of people joining in every day. Animations were made, huge content creators made videos on the game, and the game racked up a total of 4 billion YouTube views by September. The game was doing great, but not for long. In August of 2020, the team had plans for a sequel, which was called Among Us 2. Yep, it was a very creative name, I know. The sequel was promised to have new features such as new game modes, better servers, more player covers, new maps, a friend and reporting system, and better anti-cheat for their widespread cheating problem. However, this sequel was later cancelled due to more people enjoying the original game, and so the team focused on optimizing the original game then. According to the devs at Innersloth, this would take longer than starting the game from scratch, as the game's core and code base was quote-unquote outdated. On December 10 of 2020, a brand new map on Among Us was revealed at the Game Awards. This map of course being the airship map.
Like you could, G.
This map would be the first technical crossover between the 2 games of Innersloth, the Henry Stickmin collection and Among Us. The map was also based on the Henry Stickmin franchise, and had in-game skins related to it, as seen in the trailer of the airship. The map was said to release in early 2021, however, we haven't seen a release date yet by the time I'm writing this video essay, of course. And we haven't heard a lot from Innersloth about when it will release. The closest thing we have to this map being released It's a glitch on the Nintendo Switch version of the game, wherein you can play the map early.
Like and subscribe in the next 5 seconds to play this new map.
However, if you don't have a Switch, you can't do this, and aside from the server fixes and colorblind support, there hasn't really been any big changes or updates to the game ever since it has gained a lot of traction. Which leads me to my next point. In a surprising turn of events, the game has been, what's a word that's not too strong that would not get a lot of people to hate me? Let's just say the game hasn't been doing too well these past months. So far, 2021 has not been good for Among Us, and it's no surprise that not updating your game will make it die. Fortnite! Until this day, we have not received a major update giving any new game modes, maps, features, or basically any content that comes with the game. However, they added a quick chat update which also granted lots of bugs to the game. You just love to see it. In early January 2021, the game actually had a major problem with cheaters who abused the game for not having an anti-cheat or account system. And the main person behind these cheats is a person with the IGN Eris Loris. The hacker actually started hacking at around October 20, when the game was still in its prime. Till this day, the hacker usually targeted public lobbies and spammed messages in the chat promoting his YouTube channel and also the Discord. He also threatened to dox players who did subscribe to his YouTube channel. The hacks have seemed to impacted over 5 million players in over 1.5 million games. On October, an interview was conducted on the Discord server, which had lots of NSFW content in it, including pics of animal abuse, gore, racial and offensive language, pornography, and also controversial political opinions. It was then later confirmed by Loris that the hacks were also a publicity stunt to promote people to vote for Trump in the upcoming presidential election. Eris Loris later returned in late January and started distributing Among Us cheats to players. Among Us then tweeted that they knew about the hacker and told players to stick with private lobbies for now, as the public lobbies were literally unplayable. In conclusion, the game Among Us has had a really rough history, from the time where devs almost gave up on the game, to the time it took the internet by storm, to the time it was suffering hack attacks. It's no secret that the game has just mysteriously disappeared off of social media, trends, and just overall the internet. I wouldn't say the game is dead, because there is still a consistent number of players who play it every day, but just looking at the graphs, Among Us ain't doing too well. And I'm not just making this video to capitalize over the hundreds of videos with the same topic. This video was made to bring the numerous problems with the game to the spotlight. And it's no doubt that the game may not be dead, but it sure had made a downfall. Whether it be the game being broken and having no updates, the servers being literally unplayable, the toxic fan base surrounding the game, or the game being dry out of content. It's no lie when I say that the game needs more serious changes to it, and fast, because I miss the game. But all the reasons I just mentioned made me not want to play it anymore. One day, maybe everyone will play the game for a sense of nostalgia, and because it was a game that will be remembered for a long time. But then again, hopefully the devs come together to revive the game. Otherwise, it might suffer the same fate as Fall Guys. With that said, I hope you enjoyed this video. I know it's not my usual type of content, but I thought I'd change it up a bit, keep it fresh. Anyways, I'm done promoting myself. This is Chase, signing out.